Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of yet another digital voice recorder by Infina. This one has a bit more of a standard design, still quite interesting. It's a flash drive, so you can use it as a traditional flash drive by inserting it onto any tablet or computer and use it for storage purposes, but it also has a built-in microphone for picking up voice notes as well as memos for business meetings and lectures for students, so on and so forth. It's quite discreet looking, and it does have an integrated battery, so it doesn't need to be always inserted into a computer or to power to start recording. It has its own capacity on here. It takes about 2 hours to completely charge. You just insert it onto any USB socket, and then afterwards you can record audio up to 8 hours or so. It's not a high fidelity microphone, but it does work well enough for basic purposes. This is what the packaging is like. You can see some of the kind of purposes that you can use this for printed on the sides there. Basic details as well. The inside just features the USB thumb drive. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. Otherwise, inside here, there's also a headphones, so you can get a pretty generic pair of 3.5mm headphones if you want to use it as kind of a pseudo MP3 player for listening back your tracks that you've recorded or loading up a few songs. There's also a lanyard strap and a quick start guide, and that's it. So the thumb drive itself is actually made out of aluminum, so it has a decent construction quality and really looks like just any other thumb drive that you might have lying around. There's the company's logo embedded on the front here, in addition to a dedicated volume rocker, which is pretty tactile and responsive when you're listening back to your own tracks. There's also the lanyard strap on the top there. This one is an 8GB capacity version that sells on Amazon for sub $25. Also comes in a few other iterations in terms of capacity, and the smaller model number is the AK01. There's also on the top here dedicated a full-size 3.5mm headphone port, which is nice to see. No adapters are needed, and there's also the lanyard strap along with a dedicated power on-off switch. There's also the end cap, which you can remove just to plug this into power for charging, as well as for taking your data in or transferring data out. So it has a USB 2.0 connection speed, not quite USB 3.0, but works well enough. So when we want to start recording, there's two ways to do that. You can just insert it into a computer, or I can actually tap on the power key here, switch it to on. You can see there's an LED light which will start to illuminate, and after a few seconds it will start to flash, indicating that we are entered the recording mode. Navigation here isn't the most straightforward thing in the world. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get used to, especially if you want to play back tracks directly on here and use it as an MP3 player. Because there isn't dedicated controls for play pause, some of those features are overlaid on the same keys, so it does take a bit of acclimation to get used to. Otherwise, the recording quality here is fine. For business meetings as well as for lecture notes, it works well enough, but it's not a super fancy digital voice recorder. It doesn't have functions like voice zooming, noise cancellation, dual stereo microphones for recording sound, so on and so forth. So good audio quality at this price, but then again, not the most expensive high fidelity recording that in the world, as you can expect, but it works well enough. The use of this as a MP3 player or a sound player is also decent as well. Not crystal clear, but good enough for most folks, I would say. So all in all, this is another kind of interesting, fairly niche, but also discreet looking voice recorder that adds to the kind of interesting lineup that Infina already has on their Amazon store and also on their website, so that you can check out if you want to. We're going to come out with a more detailed written review soon, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the USB thumb drive digital voice recorder.